Hello again, everybody. It's Plowboy's Ghost Channel. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about having done the Wilson Combat side upgrade on this Anaconda. Now, I'm not going to reach across the table and get up there and show you, real close, because y'all will see it in other videos. That rear side on that thing is, I will probably get up in a second. Rear side on that thing is absolutely tight. Y'all, I went ahead and got the reach across and show you real quick. You got the rear sight there. That was a big improvement, real easy to swap out as long as you had the right size punch. And of course, I also had a piece of a drill bit from doing something with the Smith & Wesson front sight at one time. I also got their green fiber optic front sight. And yeah, this gun's loaded, so I'm not going to point it at myself, of course, but what's the greater danger would be me pointing at y'all through the camera. But y'all are dead. Sorry. My bad. Didn't mean to kill all of y'all on the internet world. Anyhow, deadly monitors aside, yeah, I did the Wilson Combat rear and the fiber optic green front. And I went up there, and I've already shot it, so I know how this worked. And I ended up testing, the other day I was testing 3 different loads. And my Red Hawk liked the 310 grain, 21.5 grain, 310 grain gas check lead bullet over 21.5 grains of H110 the best. But now that I've done the rear sight, as a matter of fact, I didn't even move it. I set it up, and where I set it, I didn't have it run all the way down, but I let it a few clicks up. But where I set it, it liked my 250, what's actually about a 255 grain, that RCBS K Keith bullet mold. It liked that Keith bullet over 21 grains of 2400. Y'all, I loaded and shot the 22 grain 2400 full Keith load for a long time. I still have some of them, and I shot them also last week, or the last time I shot this gun on camera for y'all. But I have the last 300 or 400 of 44 Magnums I've loaded with that Keith bullet. I've loaded them over 21 grains, just because there's really not as much to be gained after the 21 grains. And although I think the 22 grain, I've had this discussion with somebody. I don't mean to turn this video into this, but I had this discussion with someone recently who believes that that is a greatly overpressured round, and it is not. I wouldn't shoot it in. Actually, I can't think of a 44 Magnum I wouldn't shoot it in. I'm sure there's one somewhere, but I'm not worried about the full Keith load. I've shot them in an L frame, in the Model 69 too. I didn't have no problem with it. Shot them in the Taurus Model 44. Y'all don't follow my lead. I may lead you wrong, but they ain't a great overpressure. Anyway, getting off that subject, I backed off to 21 grains more because in my Red Hawk, when I tested a long time ago, 21 grains was just a little bit more accurate than the 22 grains. I thought, saving a little bit of powder, not much, but saving a little bit over the course of hundreds of rounds. And I backed them all down to 21. This liked that 21 grain to 2400 with that Keith bullet best. As a matter of fact, after I settled down, I was using a new cobbled together redneck setup where I had my shoot stick wedged down in the bed liner, that little Nissan pickup we got, and sitting on a stool just shooting it like that. And after I settled down, because I'm not big on shooting a handgun from a rest, this is just at 10 yards. The last 3 shots were all in the bullseye. I'll roll in a picture of it somewhere in here. And I didn't move the sight. I'm not going to worry about it one daggum bit. I think that right there is probably, it seems to be what this gun prefers. And is, of my cast bullet rounds. So that's what's going to go. It's going to go with me into the deer blind in the morning. Tomorrow morning's opening day of deer season here in Northwest Alabama. And y'all, for a gun that I had a year and several months without shooting, that thing sure has got shot a lot here lately. And now we got some upgrade sights that my old and aging eyes, or not, maybe not old, but my aging eyes can see a lot better. And I like what this gun was stringing shots with that same load, or with all the loads, with everything I shot through it was stringing shots, because I think the rear sight was shifting as I was shooting it. That's the only thing I can attribute to. And today, everything was in a reasonable, reasonable group. And once I settled in and figured out what I was doing and got comfortable, it was doing great. 3 bullseye hits there, Tim. I can level that. What about y'all? Anyhow, guess we'll see if it's good enough. Maybe I'll carry a rifle with me just in case. And just use this for anything that comes up within 25, 30 yards. But y'all, where I expect to see something is not but between 25 and 40 yards from where I'm going to be sitting. So 3 bullseye hits in a row with this right after. I've got me a little piece of, cut me a small pine tree to go across in front of my blind there that I can use as a rest, lay the barrel on. So I'm feeling pretty good about that, being steady enough. And y'all, I'll go sit down on a bucket in the morning and we'll see what happens. I'd like to catch one of them deer unawares. Maybe their calendar's off. Let's hope their calendar's off. Once again, Wilson Combat rear sight, and I like it front sight, but the rear sight I think is a necessity. Y'all, I will roll in a picture here of the little grub screw that was, supposedly holding the front, holding the rear sight. It's on the head of a Q-tip, and if I drop it in a small pile of black powder, 1F, I'll probably never find it without a magnet. So there you go. I think the Wilson Combat rear sight is an absolute must if you get one of these. And if you get it and never shoot it, you won't know, just like I didn't know until I went to shoot it. That last was 21 grains, 2400 underneath the Keith bullet. Yeah, I backed down the Keith load 1 grain a while back. Been shooting up the rest of it just because it seems to be 21 grains seems to be more accurate in a lot of my guns than 22. But that was actually an improvement over the factory sights. Now I'm trying the 310 grain load, 21.5 grains of H110 under that 310 grain gas check Lee. .310 throws higher than the other one. Both are shooting better with these Wilson Combat sights than they were with the factory sights. I'm not sure just yet which one I want to use. I'm going to shoot a couple more of the Keith bullet, 21 grains of 2400. I'm not used to shooting from a wrist with a handgun. And I'm just not too sure which load I want to use. I've set these new sights up pretty close right out of the box. I think it's gunned now. I'm not even moving the sights. I've got 3 hits dead bullseye, and with that, with a Keith style, with a Keith bullet and 21 grains of H110, I have 3 in the bullseye, and the rest are all very close except for the first couple that were just a little away, because I was getting used to, I've never used this setup before. I've just got this shooting stick wedged down in the plastic bed liner just enough, and it's in there fairly good, but it's not perfect. But you know, that Red Hawk likes his 310 grain load better, and it appears to me that the Anaconda is shooting this Keith bullet load better. Again, 21 grains of 2400 on that. Y'all believe this? I got stuff falling from the sky out here. We've been in a severe drought. We in burn bans and all kind of stuff. You know, like apocalypse shit, you know, stuff, excuse me, apocalypse stuff going on here when it comes to being dry. And I get out here and now we've got enough rain falling that is getting everything wet. I have to dry off brass before I stick it in the gun much. Anyway, y'all, I will talk to y'all later. Thanks for watching. And oh yeah, by the way, the Anaconda's going deer hunting with me in the morning. Yeah, tomorrow morning's opening day of regular firearm season here in Northwest Alabama, and the Anaconda's going. So not only did I finally shoot this gun, but shot it enough that I'm feeling pretty good about hunting with it to a reasonable distance. Talk to y'all later.